What's up guys, today I'm going to be doing a review of the PS Vita. Sorry I haven't done a video in a while, I've been kind of busy with college and stuff, but I'm back and I've got the PS Vita. I bought this out of Tesco for around about, I think it was £240, I can't really remember. And it's quite a nice console, hasn't been fully developed yet, but I'll go on about that later. I also bought the PlayStation Plus 1 year subscription for £40. And I also picked up the 16GB SD card, which are a con. I hate the fact that Sony have done those proprietary just to squeeze money out of us. I mean, could have easily done an SD card type thing with that. But yeah, let's get on to the console. See on the front there, left hand middle side, there's the D-pad. That's on every Sony console. And then on the right hand side you got the triangle, square, circle and X. But here you've got these little dinky analog sticks and they take a while to get used to. That was my first worry when I was looking at this, were those little dinky analog sticks, and they are a bit iffy, but you can get used to them and they do work fairly well. But I would prefer normal sized analog sticks as there's not a lot of travel with these. But yeah, bottom left side you see the PlayStation like home button, I think they call it now, but it's like a multitasking button. I'll show you a bit more of that later. And on the bottom right you've got the select and start button as on every PlayStation. You also see there the really nice OLED 5-inch display. On the back you get this touchscreen back touch panel thing and the camera. The back touch panel hasn't really been implemented in any games. I've only played like one game that's had it, and you only used it about twice. So let's go ahead and see what the system looks like all booted up. So yeah, you get this little swipe to unlock screen, and yeah, as you can see the screen is very nice. This OLED screen really does stand out, and in any lighting conditions I'd pretty much confidently say that you can see it perfectly. It works really good with games. I'll show you a bit of that later. So yeah, as you've seen that little swipe function there, you can swipe games off by pressing that little PlayStation button bottom left. Whenever in your game you just press that, it'll minimize it, and then once you're done with it, or even if you want to snap back into it, you just click on it and that's you back in the game. A really unique feature and something that did make it a selling point for me. I don't know about you, but jumping right back into the game, that sold it to me right there. I know the PlayStation 4 will have something like that, but yeah. As you can see, I've got a few games here like Uncharted, Gravity Rush, Jet Set Radio and Wipeout 2048. These games came free with PlayStation Plus, and that was £40 for 1 year, as I said. You also get a few VR games, and that's another thing that might sell it to you. I'll show you a bit of that later, and it's basically like an iToy type thing. And you basically point the camera at it and it makes it look like something's going on that card. It's pretty cool, I gotta admit. I did like the look of it, but it's just a little gimmick. So let's take a quick look at the PlayStation Store and see what it has to offer. Not a lot, to be quite frank. There's not a lot implemented, there's not a lot of decent games, and yeah, so I'll show you. All the developers haven't really hopped onto this quite yet. That's why PlayStation recently did that conference, and they want everyone to hop on the PS Vita train, and hopefully that will bring some pretty cool games. As you can see, there's Star Wars, Lego, stuff like that, Black Ops, Assassin's Creed, a few decent games. I haven't actually tried them out yet, but that's about as much decent games you get there. Here you can see with the PlayStation Plus you get those free games. Half of them aren't even free, you just get discounts and demos. But yeah, here's the actual all the PS Vita games. There's Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. I'm not gonna diss it because there's some pretty decent games there and they can keep you amused for quite a while, but I'm just saying the console isn't fully developed with developers using all that they can with this console, and it should be interesting to see what they come up with when more developers hop on the train round about PS4 time. And I'm not sure if I will pick up a PS4 just for the feature of my Vita being able to control it. It does seem quite nifty, but I'm not sure. So here I'm going to give you a little rundown of the specifications of the PlayStation website. So the CPU is an ARM Cortex-A9 processor, that's a quad-core processor. It was in quite a few phones. The GPU SGX 543 MP4 Plus, it's just Sony's own brand. The RAM, there's 512 megabytes of RAM packed into this. It does it fine, you won't see any lag or anything. The VRAM is 128 megabytes, that means nothing, it's fine. Weight, if you've got the 3G model, that's going to weigh in at 279 grams. That's 260 grams for the Wi-Fi model. The front screen is a 5-inch 16:9 aspect ratio screen. It's got a 960 by 544 resolution pixels. Excuse me. 16 million colors, one OLED multi-touch screen, and that's capacitive. The rear touchpad is also multi-touch, and it's capacitive. It's got front camera, rear camera. The front camera is QVGA, and the back camera is VGA. So yeah, they're not for taking pictures, they're mostly just gimmicks for the games. Speakers, left and right front speakers, they're stereo. Built-in microphone, you'll use that for a few games. It's got 6-axis motion sensing system, 3-axis gyroscope, and 3-axis accelerometer. It's also got a 3-axis electronic compass somewhere in there. It's got GPS, and that's only on the 3G model. And that's pretty much it for specs. Here I'm going to try some Uncharted. I hope this doesn't give you any spoilers, but I'm going to be doing chapter 4. If you don't want to see any parts of the game, take a look away now, but it's only like 1 minute at least. I'm not going to go into any of the shooting scenes or anything, I'm just going to show you the graphics, and then after this I'll show you some Wipeout for the graphics wise. But yeah, I don't have any capture software or anything for this, so I'm just going to have to record it straight off the device. But yeah, as you can see, the graphics are pretty decent for a portable device. I mean, you get the shadows and all. The shadows are a wee bit, what would you call it, jabby, because the anti-scopic filtering isn't that high on the device like this. But yeah, it's smooth, there's no lag. I haven't suffered from any lag on this device so far. I mean, the ARM core processor inside it does hold up quite well, and you don't see the 512 megabytes of RAM suffering at all. So it's quite a solid device. I mean, you're not going to expect any faults from it. It's a Sony verified device. But yeah, see here, I'm suffering with those analogs a wee bit. You really do need to get used to that sort of thing. But you see here, scaling a bit like Prince Persia type of stuff. The shooting's a wee bit iffy. The third person cover, you don't see any of it in here. I just show you a quick bit of the climbing, but then the graphics. But this game altogether is actually quite good. I completed it, and yeah, it's quite satisfying to complete it. You see there, I had to turn the device to not fall and I end up falling. But yeah, let's take a look at Wipeout. So here I'm playing some Wipeout. Forgive my awful driving in this, because you try playing a racing game through a camera screen, it doesn't work out that well. But yeah, as you can see, the graphics are pretty decent on this game. Maybe even a bit more heavier than Uncharted. So much going on the screen, it's a bit hard to keep an eye on it on this teeny little screen. But yeah, close-up graphics look great, and it's a pretty decent game. It kept me amused on the way from little trips in the car and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty decent game. Here I'm gonna have a little mess around with these VR cords. If you've heard anything about the Vita, you've probably seen the feature that they showed off on the release, and it's basically where point the camera at a little card, and then out pops a game on your desk, and then you can play football and dive in your desk and crap like that. Here's the cards that they come with. They all come in the box. You don't need to buy them separately. The games also come free. Well, some of them do at least. You get 6 cards, and they're all different. Don't worry if you lose them. You can print them off on the site. So here's Cliff Diving. It's one of their main free games. All you need is the one card, as you see here. I've got it down on the desk. Just place it on a flat surface. Start up the game. Point at it, and then it will sense the little cards there, and it will basically put the game surface on that. So here you see I start it up. I choose my platform. That will spawn up on my desk. Point at it. Excuse the focus on this. It was on fixed focus and I'm moving it around. So yeah, you see there, made a little hole in my desk and it pops up the water. It's really pretty, it's nice and all that. It keeps you amused for about 10 minutes and then you realise it's just a game where you jump off a board into some water. But yeah, it's nice and cool. You can zoom in by putting the console closer to the card and you can zoom out and you see all the action. So yeah, the PlayStation Vita is a good looking device with the OLED LED screen and it packs quite a punch. But I fear with the lack of developers at the moment, it's not a full-fledged console. It's got the back touchscreen and all them unique features, but they're just not being developed to its fullest point right now. If you're looking at buying one, I would wait until the PlayStation 4 is getting released around about that time, because that's going to grab some of the features from the Vita and use it in that, and that's probably the best time you're going to get it, because it will be on sale, it will be cheaper. So yeah, that's my review of the PlayStation Vita. Hope you liked it. If you do, leave a like of course, and maybe even subscribe. See ya.